Alright guys, we are back with more triangle strategy. Now let's talk about one of these new types of exclamation marks that I mentioned before in the first episode. These are kind of the ones where you kind of just see a little bit of context of what's happening with other characters. So this is kind of just one of those things you can't just simply watch. Of course I will just let them talk and yeah, just let you hear it.
Wherever did my fool brother run off to? I explicitly told him I wanted him here when we welcome our guests.
It would seem Prince Roland shrugged off the king's guard and went on a little excursion, as he's wont to do. I swear it's as if the boy exists to drive us mad.
He is an embarrassment to our family. No matter. I will see to matters myself.
Your honored guests have arrived, Your Highness.
I see new faces among them. I trust you can tell me more, Clarice.
But of course, Your Highness. The imposing-looking woman over there is General Avlora of Esfrost. Her prowess in battle is such that some say she is the second coming of Groma Ironfist, hero of the Salt Iron War. If the rumors of her strength are true, she is more likely to emerge victorious than any but the Dawnspear himself. Over there is Minister Exham Marshal of the Holy State of Hyzet. He is the newest appointee to the Saintly Seven, and has been placed in charge of the military and diplomatic affairs. 'Tis a rise to prominence nigh unheard of for one so young.
A general of the Grand Duchy and Hyzant's young hope. I imagine this will not be the last I hear of them. I know this man, Sorsley End of Hyzant, yes?
Just so, my lord. As you doubtless know, he is the Holy State's Minister of Salt. A prestigious position, though it is said he feels threatened by Minister Exham of late.
So even the great monolith that is the Holy State is not immune to internal strife. Thank you, Clarice. I can see they were not wrong to tap you to lead the consortium.
As the officially appointed bookmaker for the tournament, it would not do for me to be ignorant of the combatants.
Your Highness, Lord Thalos and Lady Erica, brother and sister of the Archduke, have arrived. They will be joining the festivities in Archduke Gustadolf's stead.
Word has it that Lord Thalos has been appointed Prime Minister, which would make him the second most influential individual in all of Esfrost.
Archduke Gustadolf is said to prize freedom more than anything. It would seem that includes the freedom to put his own family above all.
With all due respect, Your Highness, the decisions of another nation are their own. Do take care not to say anything that might offend our new allies.
You need not remind me, Patriot. I know there is little to be gained from quarreling with Esfrost's ruling family. Honored guests, I am Franny, Crown Prince of Glenbrook. It is an honor to welcome you to our kingdom in my father's stead. I can assure you we have spared no effort in preparing for tomorrow's festivities. Let us ring in this new age of alliance together. Though I imagine some may be too occupied awing us with their prowess in the tourney to enjoy the revelry themselves. Allow me to escort you to Whiteholm Castle, where the ceremony will take place, whenever you're ready.
Prince Roland. Finally, you return.
At ease, Huette. I trust all was well in my absence.
Well enough. Another visit to the Wolfort domain, was it?
Indeed, on minor business. My apologies for leaving unannounced.
Apologies indeed. You know full well that I am under strict orders from your father to accompany you on any excursions outside the castle.
I'm perfectly capable of taking care of myself. Besides, no one would lose any sleep if something happened to me. Father and Franny least of all. Even Cordelia would get along perfectly fine without her brother.
Well, I would not. Or have you forgotten that you are my one and only sworn liege?
Huette. Forgive me, truly. It won't happen again.
I should hope not. So it is true that you plan to fight in the tourney on the morrow, and alongside House Wolfort, no less.
How did you...
His Grace told me, when he commanded me to keep you out of trouble.
So Father knew all along.
And so I have decided to fight at your side. You won't be slipping away on my watch this time.
As you wish.
Welcome back, the both of you.
Were there any troubles while we were out?
None to speak of, aside from Eridor here. But what else is new?
Out with it, Benedict! I heard you were beset by brigands. Is the young lord safe?
Lower your voice. Must you always shout so? Or can't you see that it was that big mouth of yours that invited trouble in the first place?
There is no cause for concern, Eridor. Besides, I'm not a child anymore.
Mayhap not, my lord. But I've known you since you were knee-high to a... never you mind. And this must be the young lord's bride-to-be.
I am Frederica. It is a pleasure and honor to meet you all.
And I am Gila, her attendant. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Allow me to introduce those in service of House Wolfort. This is Eridor, Master-at-Arms and Commander of our military forces.
You'll be the lady of House Wolfort. No harm will befall you as long as I'm around.
And this is Anna, my right hand.
If you require anything, just say the word.
They may not be of my blood, but they are my family just the same, and from this day on, they're your family as well.
I am aware that in all of Glenbrook, House Wolfort is second only to the royal family in power and influence. I will do my best not to disappoint you.
A joyous day this is! The little lord grew up and found himself the perfect bride. Nigh brings a tear to my eye.
His voice certainly does carry.
Sorry, my lady, but you'll have to get used to it.
My lord, your father awaits you in his chambers. As for me, I must stay and discuss the preparations for tomorrow's festivities with Anna and Eridor.
Lady Frederica, pray come with me. Father is expecting us.
As you are well aware, there are two events of utmost importance to be conducted before Lord Serenoa and his bride are wed.
The ceremony to commemorate the joint mining venture.
Still can't believe I'll be seeing the day when we break ground on a new mine right here in Glenbrook. And with the full support of Esfrost and Hyzant, no less.
You can thank King Regna for that. It was by his most wise and generous proposal that the three nations of Norzelia now strive toward a common goal. Needless to say, delegates from each nation will be joining in the festivities.
From the Grand Duchy of Esfrost, Lord Dragan Esfrost, who is overseeing the technical side of the mining operations. The Holy State of Hyzant will be represented by Minister Lila Viscraft of the Saintly Seven. And our own Lord Simon will serve as Glenbrook's delegate and meet with the two before the ceremony. Yes?
Quite so. After that, it will be House Wolfort's responsibility to see that our honored guests feel welcome. Anna, I would trust you safeguarding both Lord Dragan and Minister Lila.
Consider it done.
Then once that stuffy ceremony is over, we can get to the real highlight of the day, the tourney! Ah, my blood's already rushing, just envisioning the greatest warriors from all the realm clashing swords!
From Esfrost, the much-renowned General of Laura. And from Hyzant, Minister Exham Marshall. I have heard much of his prowess as well.
Then, of course, there's our reigning victor, the pride of Glenbrook, Sir Maxwell the Dawnspear. Still, I wish him all the best of luck against their hosts. They'll need it to beat House Wolfort.
On that matter, there are two things I should make clear. Prince Roland has expressed a desire to join the tourney as a member of House Wolfort's contingent.
Why would the boy want to fight with us and not his own arms master?
Apparently, he originally formally requested to do just that, but King Regna would not allow it.
And so he came to the young lord in hopes of finding another way in. Well, it's more than welcome in my book. The royal family said we're free to put together our own contingent after all. I reckon His Majesty would be beside himself with joy if we could deliver a beating to Esfrost and Hyzant.
Doubtless so. Very well. I shall inform the prince that he is welcome in our ranks.
Finally, there is the matter of Lord Simon's health.
Indeed. Sadly, the Lord of the House is in no condition to participate in the tourney. Barring some miracle, I anticipate that Lord Serenoa will have to fight in his Lord Father's stead.
Lord Simon. I suppose age takes its toll on even the mightiest of men. So be it then. You can leave watching over the young lord and Prince Roland to me.
Good. I remind you that while this is a joyous occasion, all of our attendees have their own reasons for coming. Let us not give them an opportunity to catch us unaware.
Father, I bring to you my betrothed, the Lady Frederica.
A pleasure to meet you, my lord. I am Frederica of House Esfrost.
Ho ho! The pleasure is all mine.
Were it not for the efforts of House Wolfort, the Saltiron War would rage on still today. I do not deserve the honor of joining your esteemed family, but I will endeavor to serve you all the same.
There is no need for such formalities, my girl. You are tired from your journey, I am sure. Pray rest easy tonight.
Thank you, my lord. I believe that in any journey, the first step is the most important. Before we go forward together, I should like to know why you chose to welcome one of Rosellan blood, such as I.
Oh, I'd heard you were a strong-willed one.
Pray forgive my insolence. And yet, I am set to marry into a mighty house of a foreign nation. I should like to know what you wish of me, that I might live up to your expectations.
A most reasonable request. Both of you, listen well.
Yes, Father.
Your marriage was agreed upon by Glenbrook and Esfrost, that the ties between our two nations might be strengthened.
To give us more leverage against Hyzant with their monopoly over salt.
Precisely. With Glenbrook and Esfrost consolidating their power, Hyzant was left with little choice but to join the alliance. And yet, while Lady Frederica is indeed the Archduke's sister, at the same time she is the daughter of a Rosellan concubine. And House Wolford, for all our military prowess, is no more than a bannerman of the king. If the aim was to forge the strongest bond we could between our two nations...
It would be far more appropriate for my sister, Lady Erica, to wed the Crown Prince of Glenbrook.
Just so, yet neither nation chose that. And do you know why?
So that if relations between our two countries were to take a turn for the worse...
We could be cast away like pawns.
Precisely. Such are the schemes of those who rule nations.
I understand now. And yet, no matter how impure the intentions behind this arrangement may be, I will not bring dishonor to the Wolfort name.
Well said, my son. If that is your decision, then...
Father!
Lord Simone!
I am an old man, and my health is not what it once was. For this reason and more, I have made my decision. As of this day, I abdicate my position as Lord of House Wolford. You will serve in my stead from tomorrow forth, my son.
But, Father, I am not ready to...
My decision is not made lightly. You have already shown me, with your words and your deeds, that you are more than ready. Think always about what your subjects need from you. Weigh your choices carefully, then take action. Do so, and I have no doubt you will make a great lord. And trust in Benedict. He shall serve you as well as he did me.
Thank you, Father. I will spare no effort that one day I may be as beloved by our people as you.
Lady Frederica, your fate is not a simple one. There are many who would try to use the both of you as pawns in their own schemes. Even so, I hope that you will be there to support my son through it all, as his wife. But also, as your own person. This is House Wolfort's entreaty, and the wish of a father.
Of course, my lord. It was my intention from the moment I boarded the ship.
Beg pardon, my lord, but Lord Dragan and Minister Lila have arrived.
Very well. Presiding over tonight's banquet will be my final duty as Lord of the House. Tomorrow's ceremony will mark the beginning of yours, my son. And after that will be your wedding. Rest well tonight, both of you, for busy days lie ahead.
"30 years after the Salt Iron raged across Norzelia, a vein of precious minerals was unearthed in the kingdom of Glenbrook. From east to west, joy swept the land. United at last in common cause, the kingdom of Glenbrook, the Grand Duchy of Esfrost, and the holy state of Hyzant endeavored to wrest this bounty from the earth, with each nation providing expertise and resources. This uneasy alliance between once bitter enemies will herald a new era of tranquility in this long and battled realm. One after another, dignitaries from each nation arrive in Glenbrook to solidify this accord and toast to its success, the first step on the road to peace. Among those who would forge this road is Serenoa Wolffort. Inheriting the title of Lord Wolffort from his father Simon, he must decide what foundation he would lay for this new era.
Welcome to Castle Wolfort, Minister Lila. Allow me to express my gratitude to the Holy State. Were it not for your nation's generous efforts, this venture would never have come to fruition.
You are too kind, Lord Simon. You too have served an invaluable role in this. Though I must admit, the news of the union between your son and Lady Frederica came as quite the surprise. None in Hyzant considered that a bannerman of Glenbrook would join with the ruling family of Esfrost. I hear that Lady Frederica is the Archduke's half-sister. I must ask, how did this arrangement come to be?
Oh, your curiosity is only natural. This union was promised during the war, an arrangement made with the previous Archduke. Truth be told, I am surprised one as well informed as yourself did not already know.
And this is your son, as I recall.
Serenoa Wolffort, at your service, Minister.
And I am Frederica Esfrost.
My son still has much to learn, but I believe this marriage will herald a bright future for us all. For today, I intend to step down and leave House Wolffort in Serenoa's capable hands.
You're abdicating your position? Surprising news comes in pairs, I see. Nonetheless, I am happy for you both. I imagine the lords and ladies at tonight's banquet will take great interest in the new Lord Wolffort, as will I.
Pray, go easy on the boy, my lady.
I hear that young Lord Dragan of Esfrost shall also be in attendance.
Indeed. He has been appointed to oversee operations at the Grand Norzelian mines. I understand his star in Esfrost has seen a meteoric rise.
Good. I would like to hear more of this new explosive substance he means to use to blast the tunnels. As a fellow scholar of sorts, if in a different field, I am always curious to learn how great discoveries are made.
He should have arrived by now. Has anyone seen him?
Dragan's gone to see the city. He was halfway there before the gangplank landed on the docks.
Ah, he is your cousin, yes? I see we share an innate curiosity for new places.
The banquet will begin soon. I shall seek him out and escort him there.
Very good. Though I will host tonight's festivities, I want you to act as if you're already Lord of the House. Our guests are the most esteemed personages of their respective nations. Take care not to cause offense.
Of course, Father.
Alright, so welcome to the exploration part of the game. So this game is where you can free roam around the city and kind of learn a bit things about certain things and aspects about the game. Now I 100% do recommend that you talk to a lot of the NPCs because you may learn something, which is good for notes, and of course that expands the game's lore, so there's that. But one of the things you definitely want to be on the lookout for is, well, glowing spots. And glowing spots can usually hold items, and sometimes you can get conversations that can change a character's conviction. As you can see right there with the green exclamation mark over their head, you can have them have a conversation and you can learn a little bit about the character. But just gonna check to see if there's anything over here. Of course you can't talk to the cat, which just meows, which is... It's funny because literally every single town that I've played so far has a cat in it, and it's kind of adorable. So we're getting some HP up tablets. Some nice HP healing. This one gives some notes. That's what I was talking about before. There we go, that's what I was looking for, a little money. You can see how far it goes back. So I'll talk to them and see what we can say. Alright, so whenever you're done exploring, you can just simply hit start and then just kind of quit out. So let's go ahead and end this.
I thank you for your hospitality today, Lord Serenoa.
Think nothing of it. Did you enjoy the city, Lord Dragan?
Quite. Its people are full of life and love for their lord. That says all I need to know about House Wolfort.
You honor us with your words.
I am only being frank. Frederica is the sister of the Archduke, after all, and my cousin besides. I would not see her marry into an unworthy house. Suffice to say, my expectations were exceeded.
I have heard much of your ingenious contributions to the mining efforts. I sense prosperous days are ahead of us.
As do I. Finally, our nations enter into an age unfettered by war. With Esfrost's iron, Hyzan's salt, and Glenbrook's mediation, there is no limit to what we can achieve. We must regard each other as equals, and forge mutually beneficial relationships.
I sense skepticism in your words, Lord Dragan. Do you mean to imply our relations are not already mutually beneficial?
I need not imply anything. The salt tax you claim makes my case more than clear.
Bold words from one so young. Is that how peers speak to one another?
Perhaps the young ones, yes. What do you think, Lord Serenoa?
Dissatisfaction with the salt tax was one cause of the war, was it not?
Salt is a divine boon, a gift from the goddess to her true believers. This is the foundation of the teachings that guide us in Hyzant. By allying with Esfrost, do you mean to gainsay our most fundamental beliefs?
Of course not, Minister. We understand that the source is Norzelia's sole supply of salt. And we would not deny that it is the Holy State's right to harvest and tax it as you see fit.
Thank you for acknowledging that. Though it strikes me that your words are measured.
You needn't be so non-committal, Lord Serenoa. It is only reasonable that the three of us have differing opinions on the matter. However, that is all the more reason for us to be open to frank discussion.
Honored guests, pray forgive my son. We of House Wolfort are but simple warriors. I'm afraid matters of finance and politics do not come to us naturally. This, however, I can say. We will fight injustice and tyranny wheresoever it may be. Of course, we do not enjoy conflict. Still, we will not hesitate to defend our land and our people should the need arise. No matter how mighty the threat, we will fight for home and kingdom.
Yes, Lord Simone. Of that we are keenly aware.
I apologize if I spoke out of turn. But the fact remains that as every winter passes, the tension between our nations grows, and salt is the cause. The common folk have all but forgotten its taste. I simply want to ease their suffering.
The ministry I oversee is committed to the preservation of life. I personally believe that salt should not be a luxury reserved for the privileged few. All those who live require it, not just those lucky enough to be born within the borders of our holy state.
You agree with me, then?
How I feel matters little. In Hyzant, the word of the goddess, as conveyed to us from the lips of the Hierophant, is absolute. But perhaps this joint mining venture of yours may lead to the change you seek.
Indeed, we must set our gazes to the future. All of us. I expect you will be the ones to usher us into a new era.
Yes, Father.
Alright, so we're gonna break down the episode right here because we're like 30 minutes into recording and I don't want to do too much of flooding. We have a little bit of a side story here, our Whiteholm Castle as well. But one thing before we do, I do want to show you guys the encampment and why this is actually going to be important for us. So, the encampment is kind of a thing that will be getting more and more things over time. But this is a cool little thing that allows you to kind of have new things. Like there's like a shop here for items. There's like ascension materials here. So you can see right here where you can just buy items, you know. As you can see, I can buy like some accessories as well, like HP rings. I can buy, you know, HP heal pellets and stuff. I can buy these old things right here as well, you know, ironstone timbers, which you actually still see that we'll need quite a bit of coming into the characters that we end up getting. But as we progress on through the game, we will get more and more new people in the in this shop. So we're getting a person that can like be a smithy. We're gonna have a person that's gonna be responsible for upgrades. We're gonna have someone who can do mock battles, which is gonna be super important, and so on and so forth. But I really wanted to talk about that before we go on to the next thing, and that's talking about our next two characters. Next up is going to be Anna and going to be Eredor. So if you guys don't know, Anna is quite frankly one of the best early game characters you can get because of the passive that she will soon unlock. The passive that she has, which is act twice, which basically means she can act a second time. That's it. Like that's just it. You know what I mean? That's just it. She acts twice. She's also very fast, so she's gonna be really good to use. And Eredor is kind of the tank of the party, being able to provoke, which is gonna be really, really cool. But again, I've kept you guys here long enough. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here, and then we're gonna come right back with the rest of the story, and then we're gonna go into the stuff afterwards. So I'll see you guys next time with more Triangle Strategy. Peace.